And we're back here on Mountain Connections. Now, companies are expanding and hiring, and it is getting tougher to find top quality candidates. So joining us today is talent attraction specialist and expert Bill Humbert. Bill, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thank you, Kimberly. It's great to be here.
Absolutely. So interesting topics. You know, we're heading into the holiday season. It's the end of the year. Companies are probably ramping up for their Q1 and still on the hiring effort. So people are saying it's a lot harder to find quality candidates. Tell me a little bit more about that.
You know, I've been doing this over 40 years, so I've found that many times the candidates they're looking for are sitting right in their applicant tracking system. Mm-hmm. So what do companies do? I got a new opening, okay. And so they post it online. And then, of course, the job description really doesn't match the job so much, and then their applicant tracking system uses a keyword search and it screens out all the good ones, and then you have these people sitting in there languishing in the applicant tracking system. And so people are there and they're looking, but you have to be a sales professional to go after them.
It's true, it really is. So outside of the applicant tracking system, where else would you say the candidates are hiding?
They're not hiding, they're in plain sight. It's really key for every manager to create their own short list of, when I get an opening, I'm calling Kimberly, or when I get an opening, I'm calling John. Mm-hmm. And that's how they find people, is creating their own short list.
Absolutely. And so what advice would you have for companies to fix that outside of creating the short list?
Well, a couple of things. One, and this is really important, my disrupt HR speech is delete recruiting from HR. Mm-hmm. And the reason is HR is very important for a company. Benefits, compensation, culture, employee development, employee relations, HR technology, they're all administrative or compliance functions. When was the first time you ever saw a compliance person lead a company in sales?
I can't say that I've seen it.
Never. I have never seen it. And recruiting mirrors the sales process line by line perfectly. And so if you aren't treating recruiting as a sales process, now you're going to have problems because you're going to throw roadblocks up in front of the candidates. So recently I discovered that one of the local companies has an intellectual property clause for seasonal workers making, $20 an hour. Mm-hmm. Seriously? And you have people like me who have intellectual property, and I'm looking at that and I'm going, you're going to take away my intellectual property? Recruiting's kind of important to you guys. I'm not working here. Mm-hmm. So it's important for companies to understand they are A, in a sales process, and B, clean out all the obstacles that are in the way of being successful.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of intellectual property, you have a book, Expect Success. You had a couple of signings at Dolly's here locally in Park City, as well as in 2 bookstores in New York. So let's talk about it. Tell me about it.
So yeah, it was really exciting. Expect Success, the Science of the Over 50 Career Search, received a 5-star review. And how many books get 5-star reviews? Not very many.
That's huge.
And my book signing at Dolly's on October 14th, we sold more books than I've ever sold at a book signing. And that's really exciting. And fortunately, Dolly's had enough stock that they could supply everybody. And people read my introduction and they went, this is right on target. I mean, they were going, oh. And so we went up to East Aurora, New York, outside of Buffalo, and I was there, and I would just hand my book, Expect Success, to any person that came in and just said, just read the first paragraph of the introduction. And I opened it up for them, and they all went, wow. We sold out, and then in 90 minutes, which is unheard of. Mm-hmm. And a person came in a little bit after that, and they said, do you have any more books? I said, no. But I said, go up to the counter up there, they'll order one for you. So it's, you know, it's really beginning to take off. I'm really excited.
Absolutely. Well, I think with this book, it's the science of the career search for over 50, but really there are helpful tips for everybody in this book. And you can get it on many places. Tell us where else we can get it outside of Dolly's and other bookstores.
Weller Books, and then you can get it on Amazon, of course, but Barnes & Noble. And what's really fun is you can now order it online at Walmart.
Oh, that's exciting.
It is exciting. So it's getting out there everywhere.
Absolutely. I think the career search can be such a stumbling block for most people. So it's wonderful to have an additional tool that you've provided. And we're honored to have you here on the show as the author and the career expert. Absolutely.
Thank you, Kimberly. It's great to be here. And by the way, just underlining something you said at the beginning, this is the best time for companies to be out there recruiting for January 1st. And if they have a January 1st budget year, what they can do is they can interview, select, extend the offer, get the acceptance, and then have that person start the first week of January in a new budget year.
Absolutely. It's so important to plan ahead in all aspects of life and in business. So we appreciate, as always, Bill, your advice and your sound judgment and the career search efforts. So thanks for coming on the show, as usual.
Yeah, thank you, Kimberly. You know, just following a dog, though, that's really hard, especially sitting on your lap and he's.
Well, he was definitely quite the little snuggly guy. But as always, I enjoy conversation with you, Bill, and appreciate your expertise. And thanks for coming on. Now, we had a very exciting show here on Mountain Connections on this wonderful Wednesday morning. Stay tuned. We're going to wrap up. Go grab that cup of coffee. We'll be right back after this break.